Joining us now, South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham is with us. Senator, welcome to the program. Thank you for being here. Let's get your reaction.
If you got a pile of crap and you chop it up 34 times, it's still a pile of crap. It's duplicitous charging. They're trying to smear the guy. They're trying to take cases that nobody else would take and resurrect them. This is literally legal voodoo. This is political persecution.
I don't think it's literally legal voodoo. That seems exciting. Yeah. I'd read that screenplay, but I don't think that's what it is. But Lindsey Graham is obviously going through a lot. You can hear it in his voice. You can see it in his glistening eyes. He's very much affected by the legal troubles that his great longtime friend Donald Trump is experiencing. And he's worried about Trump. He's specifically worried about Trump's financial state, but he's got a solution for that.
To the conservatives out there, make sure you vote. If you got friends, make sure they vote. If you don't have any friends, go make some friends. But you need to help this man, Donald J. Trump. They're trying to drain him dry. He spent more money on lawyers than most people spend on campaigns. They're trying to bleed him dry. DonaldJTrump.com. Go tonight, give the president some money to fight this bull. This is going to destroy America. We're going to fight back at the ballot box. We're not going to give in. How does this end, Sean? Trump wins in court and he wins the election. That's how this ends. DonaldJTrump.com. Give the man some money so he can fight.
I feel bad sometimes for conservatives. They're being told to spend their last dollar to give it to a literal billionaire so that he can defend himself for the crimes that he committed. And they're also insulted along the way as being friendless. Man, these right-wingers really don't respect the audience.
Now we're gonna get to an awesome and hilarious piece of hypocrisy from Lindsey Graham in a second. But drain him dry? Ugh. Don't do that. Ugh. Okay.
Wasn't that the problem in the first place?
Yeah, and I mean, so that's how we got here. Anyway,
I don't support what I just said.
But look, guys, I've said this now many times, including earlier in the show. He never gave any of the money that he raised for legal defense, hundreds of millions of dollars, to any of the January 6th guys, didn't help them one dime. All he cares about is himself. He already has a couple $100 million for legal defense. That'll do it. That's plenty of money. Legal defense costs a lot of money. It doesn't cost that much. And then second of all, is he or isn't he a billionaire? Why are you guys, I mean, look, if you're making $15 an hour, like a lot of Republican politicians say that's too much, right? But if you are, congrats, you're making about $31,000 a year. You're gonna give money to Donald Trump, who says he has $10 billion? Why? Look, man, it's your money, and if you're a right winger, I kind of like you wasting it on politically. I don't like you wasting it in real life, right? Yeah. But I mean, that could be going to other Republican politicians, etc. Yeah. But weirdly, I'm looking out for you. Why the hell would you give it to that guy? Because this weirdo who doesn't believe a word he's saying, Lindsay, you all know how fake Lindsey Graham is. If you're MAGA, you know how pathetic he is, right? And they're pretending to cry out, destroy my beloved Donald J. Trump. God, I've never seen a worse snivel in my weasel in my life than Lindsey Graham.
Can I make that my ringtone?
It could be.
These are like mega churches, right? I mean, these are like the pastors who go on TV and ask for your money, It's for the church, it's for the people, it's for what we're doing. And then they go back and they raise their salaries and they raise the salaries of everyone who works at the church, and everybody's getting the money and they're keeping the money. And they're raising it on the backs of people who don't have it. I've been to so many, I've probably been to 100, and that's not exaggerating, probably close to 100 anyway, Trump rallies and Trump things. And at these places, you meet people who look like they need every dollar they have. And I don't mean that. You see the kind of cars they drive up in, you see, and not all of them, but these are people that are giving money that are being taken advantage of. I feel badly for these people. I think others feel badly for them too, because they're being taken advantage of. And then you have Lindsey Graham go on TV and say that somehow by sending a check to Donald Trump, you are gonna save America because this case, in his eyes, is unjust. And this pleading, the almost tears that you saw from Lindsey Graham, those are the kind of things that are the saddest part of this whole MAGA era, is the people that he's taken advantage of all the way through. It's like the Trump University. It's like the veteran scam that he had. all of that. It's taking advantage of people for the bottom line being dollars.
Yeah, I remember, you said you feel bad for them. I remember covering back around the 2020 election, they had that scam. It wasn't just Trump, but Trump was by far the worst, where they would have people sign up and then they would effectively trick them with check boxes into signing up for automatic recurring donations of the same size. And there were elderly conservatives whose entire bank account was just drained from these automatic things. And they had to fight like hell to get their money back. And Trump didn't care. They just kept doing it over and over again. So that's pathetic, and I feel bad for them. I don't feel too bad for Lindsey Graham, though, despite the fact that, man, that guy has fallen far over the years. If you're new to American politics, you might see those videos we showed you and think, oh, that's who Lindsey Graham is. But remember, he used to be kind of different, especially in how he spoke about Donald Trump.
Here's what I think. I think Donald Trump is a political car wreck, and he shouldn't be commander-in-chief. He's becoming a jackass at a time when we need to have a serious debate about the future of the party and the country.
What is your reaction to hearing what Donald Trump says?
I'm disgusted. He's a race-baiting, xenophobic, religious bigot. He doesn't represent my party. He doesn't represent the values that the men and women who wear the uniform are fighting for. And you know how you make America great again? Tell Donald Trump to go to hell.
They're harsh words, maybe not as harsh as the things Tucker Carlson has said about Trump, but they're still pretty rough.
Yeah, no, Lindsey Graham does not have a body double. That was not a doppelganger.
Incredible. And we just learned about him too. He's, like he said, he's been looking for a friend for a long time. And he finally found one. And that friend is Donald Trump. It's his friend. Lindsey got a friend. So
yeah. So I watched a lot of those clips, and we covered a lot of those clips at the time. He went on to say in that a conversation on CNN that Donald Trump emboldens our enemies, and that he's such a national security threat that we should go to DEFCON 4. Now, to be fair to Lindsey Graham, there is one thing he's always been consistent on, which is starting wars. So he probably wanted to do that for a number of reasons. But guys, this is not some sort of change of heart. He didn't go to church, although Michael's analogy is a great one. So great that I used it earlier. No. I'm so amused by myself. Anyway, so when no, but seriously, the idea that these are preachers in a sense, the new preachers, I think is exactly right. And so I think the Tucker Carlsons, et cetera, are like at setting up the mega churches, right? And they're the top preachers. And these are like junior preachers, like visiting preachers that come on, these politicians. And so they gotta do the act. They gotta speak in gibberish and play with snakes and stuff and do the carnival and then do some juggling, right? And be like, right? But it's all like bread and circus, and it's always been entertainment, whether it was religion or it was the gladiators back in Rome or it's Fox News today. It's always a way to entertain you, but as a way of tricking you and mollifying you and making sure you don't see the real problems. That's literally why the Roman emperors did those things where they, not only the gladiators, but feeding the Christians to the lions, et cetera, was like, hey, fight the others, blame the others, don't look at me, I'm the real problem, I'm the goddamn emperor, right? It was all a distraction, and that's what's happening. And Lindsey Graham has never believed a word he's saying in all of politics. I mean, he's like, you see a character in a movie, and I mean the most B-rate movie you've ever seen, and it undersells what kind of a greaseball Lindsey Graham is as a politician. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.